Majority of Mattel's budget of Elite 47 went into creating the NXT Asuka figure's obsessively detailed painting application and new body mold. Was this figure worth getting less accessories or details on other figures in this wave? Let's check out this figure and see if it rocks. The packaging for this figure is like other Elites in the Elite line. Side shows a picture of Asuka and the back shows the other people available in the wave. Cool stuff. As mentioned, this figure comes with a new body mold to fit Asuka's body proportions. It also has a great amount of paint detail, and I'm happy to say that with a reviewing glance, I didn't see any crazy paint flaws. It's possible I overlooked something or that you might be less lucky, but this figure's attire looks really great. Props to Mattel on delivering on that. I also really dig the sculpted details like the tassels and their shoes. Nice attention to detail, Mattel. Now, I know some people don't like hearing my opinion, so if you came just to look at pictures of this toy, I'd recommend muting this video about now. If you came and hoped to hear me shred apart a Mattel release like old school days, then welcome aboard. My opinion? This figure has innovations, but they are so poorly implemented. First, Asuka's body looks really poorly shaped and short. I've seen many people blame it on the leg gap on the wrestling figs for him. I agree, the gap is way too large and makes her look unnatural. And then to look at her face, I just don't see Asuka at all in the scan. I don't know what it is, the mouth, the eyes, just the overall face, I don't know, but it just doesn't look like her to me. Thankfully, Mattel included a mask as an accessory so you can cover up the face. Yo! But the thigh gap and the face don't really bother me that much. What really grinds my gears to no end is the articulation. Mattel took the time to create a new mold, yet they gave us less articulation than previously. They have now created an elbow joint that hides the peg like on the men wrestlers, but this time it's for women and it literally inhibits the articulation. Previous women figures could move their arms up to a 90-degree angle, but this new hinge only allows it to move about 45 degrees, if at that. It's a terrible design choice, and sadly I have a feeling that they're not going to scrap this design and we'll be seeing less women articulation than more in the future. This Elite set continues the trend of create a diorama. I don't like the diorama as much because it's a piece of cardboard attached to a stand. Not the coolest thing in the world. Alright, let's wrap this up. This figure looks good on the surface, but once you really start to look at it and maybe want to pose it in a cool pose, it isn't really that great. I know many people will defend it and state that Mattel tried their hardest and that I'm just nitpicking, but I will stick to my opinion. I don't like to compare to other toy lines as of late, but so many other toy companies and lines create new molds left and right that don't destroy the budget. I'm looking at you, Star Wars Black Series. Why can't Mattel do this, and why do my fellow wrestling toy fans not understand that new molds is common practice, and we shouldn't have to get subpar figures just because a company needs to make a new mold for a wrestler? We're getting the short of the stick, and it's largely and largely shown here. They've shoehorned their new articulation design, which takes away articulation, instead of giving more like people want. They made a new mold which falls flat. They did do a fantastic paint job, but you can pretty much cover poodoo in a nice wrapper, but it's still poodoo. I think this figure represents everything I despise about Mattel releases and their total lack of understanding what it takes to create a competitive contemporary action figure. They know that wrestling fans will buy anything they create with the name of their favorite wrestler on it, even though the toy itself is severely lacking. I already lowered my standards when it comes to Mattel toys this past year, but I guess I need to lower them more, with this figure being such a step backwards. Is this and the GameStop Brock Lesnar the future of Mattel WWE figures? If so, the future isn't looking too bright. Sure, I'm getting all worked up about a small toy plaything, but yo, this is what we love. Toys. You wouldn't be watching this video right now if the subject matter wasn't of some importance to you. Maybe your opinion is different than mine though. I hope it is. I hope you can enjoy this figure. And I'm sure if you enjoyed this figure, you didn't like this video. So I'd recommend you downvote it. Nothing personal at all to me, unless it is personal. If you hate me, downvote it too. Tell me out.